Morning, students. It's 20th of April, and today we are going to learn something about our eye. But before starting this topic, I would like to tell you about reflection and refraction. We have already done this topic, but it needs to be described again. See, this is the diagram of the reflection. Reflection, R-E-F-L-E-C. What happens here? A ray of light, it strikes some object. Now here it is mirror. When it strikes any surface, it is bounced back. It is bounced back in some other direction. This direction can be anywhere. It can be here, it can be here, it can be here. So if it is bounced back, this is called reflection. If it is bounced back, it is called reflection. Okay, this is the incident ray, the ray of light that is coming to hit some object. Okay, after striking, it is bouncing back, so that is called reflected ray. It bounced back in some other direction, so this is called reflection. Okay, now the other one is refraction. What is refraction? This is the incident ray, the ray of light coming in, and it is striking over here. Now this is a piece of glass, this is the glass medium, and this is the water medium. Okay, so the ray of light is striking here. It is not bounced back, it has gone through it, it has passed through it. This is all glass, it is passing through it, it is moving from here, it is moving here, and from that point it moves back to the air medium. So this is called refraction, in which the ray of light, it passes through the other medium. It is not bouncing back. If it is bouncing back in other direction, that is reflection, and if it is passing through it, that is called refraction. Okay, so these are the two things I wanted to tell you. Now we come back to our topic. I want you all to open page number 506. On this page we have the topic, how do you see? Here we have one girl, there's one ice cream, she's looking at the ice cream, and in the eye we have few things. Number one, cornea. This part, if you see very closely, this part is called the cornea. Then the other one, this thing, see my pointer, this thing is called pupil. This thing is called pupil, and this area, it is called iris. Our lens is here, the lens in the eye is here. This is the lens, and this is the optic nerve which sends signal to the brain, and then our brain recognizes the thing. Okay, what happens to light when it reaches your eyes? First, the light is refracted as it goes into the cornea. First, the light goes into the light after hitting the ice cream, it is coming in the eye. Now here is the cornea. So here the ray of light, it is refracted, means it will pass through this cornea, it will pass through this area, but it will change its direction a little. Okay, because it is refracted. Then what happens? Then light passes through the pupil. After cornea, here is the pupil, the light will pass through the pupil. Okay, this area, the light will pass through it, the light will pass through the pupil. Then the pupil is the black opening in the center of each eye, means the eye opening in every eye, that is the pupil. The pupil controls how much light enters the eye. Means if the light, you might have noticed sometime that when the light is huge, it's very high light, we need to close our eyes. Why? Because this is the function of the pupil. If less light is required, so we automatically we close we close our eyes. Okay, so this is the pupil who decide how much light should enter the eye. Next, light travels through the lens. Then the lens comes. The light will pass through this lens. Okay, when the light will pass through this lens, then the lens refracts the light, so it strikes the back of the eyeball. Now, when the light moves through the lens, it is again refracted in the lens, and it strikes at the back of the eyeball here. And here we get the image, and this image is transferred through the optic nerves to the brain. Light travels through the lens reflects the light, so it strikes the back of the eyeball. The optic nerve sends information about the light to the brain. And then what happens? The image is received by the optic nerve, and the optic nerves, they send this image, they send signals to the brain, and then it is our brain who recognizes the thing. Okay, the brain then uses that information to make a picture. Now, for example, if you see your father, if you see your mother, this all thing happens, and the image of your father or your mother, it comes to the optic nerves, and optic nerves, they send message to the brain, and then the brain recognizes that yes, this is your father or this is your mother. Okay, so at the end, the image is transferred, the message is sent to the brain, and then the brain recognizes that thing. Okay, class, this is our topic for today. Now the lesson is finished. The new lesson, lesson number 4, the last lesson of the book, inshallah, we will start on Sunday. Till then, bye.